It's been a long time since we did this podcast, but I'm looking forward to it. We're going to try to get a new podcast out every week. For those of you who are tuning in, I'd like to do a little league podcast for my fantasy football league. It's a really fun time. Enjoy it. But we got a lot to talk about, so we're just going to dive right in. For those of you who are new to this league, I wish you the best of luck. I wish that no injuries happen to your players. Unfortunately, we're already 1 week in, and several people have gone down, including my very own J.K. Dobbins with an Achilles injury. And I just, I don't know how to feel about it. I just don't know how to feel about it.
Emotional damage.
Yep, there it is. That's how I feel about it. Aaron Rodgers out for the season.
Emotional damage.
Just a lot of disappointment, to start out the season. But we're here now, and I'm going to try to run through this pretty quick. Next week will be a little bit more polished, and as the season goes on, I'll probably do a little bit more scripting, actually talking things out, maybe getting a couple hosts, But either way, welcome in. I'm really looking forward to this season. A lot of trades have already happened. We'll talk about those probably next week. Like I said, when we're a little bit more polished, we'll get into it. But it was a wild week one. It really came down to the wire, too, for the league median. Me and Pat battling it out. And went to overtime, and I thought I had it. I was like, there's no way Josh Allen could possibly play even worse than he already has. And they went 3 and out. 3 and out, and then a hard knocks punt return for a victory for the Jets on Monday Night Football. It's just absolutely wild. It's just absolutely wild to me. But, okay. So we're going to talk about our matchups. I'll talk about mine first. If you're not familiar with the Sleeper app, your matchup is always the first to pop up. So I'll just kind of quick go over mine, and then we'll actually maybe get into a little bit more in-depth stuff with other people's matchups. I just don't want to talk about my matchup and have it be about me, So, well, thanks, man, for coming to my TED Talk. I suppose we should get into it. All right, here we go. Too many cooks versus Doug Dimmadome. I'm projected 102.81 points. And Doug Dimmadome is projected 108.42. So, should be kind of a close matchup. So let's take a look here. We got Josh Allen. All my times are bizarre times. It must be in West Coast time. I don't really know. But either way, we got Josh Allen versus Jared Goff. I think, I would like to see Josh Allen go off, but based on his performance last week, we can't guarantee that. Jared Goff looked good. Moved the ball around a lot. He didn't really have to deal with a lot of pressure from the Chiefs, but he looked solid. So I think that's going to be a lot closer in general. Next, I got Brian Robinson, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I don't think this is even remotely close here. I really like Bob Jube's team. Doug Dimmadome here. Jared Goff, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Etienne, DeAndre Hopkins. I don't really know about Juju, but I mean, you got DK Metcalf and got some other people in there. Jordan Love, Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones is still up in the air, which is tough. He's on my Dynasty League. And that could be very interesting. And let's take a look at the bench here. I mean, he doesn't really have much going on, at least to substitute him in. But if Aaron Jones is good to go, I mean, it's going to be a smash play versus Atlanta. I went really high on the quarterbacks this year. And unfortunately, Justin Fields looked awful. And like I said, I lost J.K. Dobbins. I still have David Montgomery, Brian Robinson. They're very serviceable running backs, but they're not your top tier. They're not your Christian McCaffrey. My wide receivers are also lacking a little bit. But, you know, I think Godwin, the more rapport he gets with Mayfield, that's going to look probably pretty solid. Brandon Cooks, I don't really know. Apparently has a sprained MCL that he's working with. Zay Jones looks solid in week 1. Still a rookie. Still working into the offense a little bit more. So I think every week he's going to get a little bit better. He was out there for like 90% of the routes, which is just insane to me. So I think this is going to be a really close matchup. Overall, though, I am leaning to Doug Dimmadome, barring any weird things. You know, I'm expecting. Oh my God. I'm expecting Aaron Jones to play. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm expecting Aaron Jones to play. If Aaron Jones plays, definitely has the edge on me. If he doesn't, I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think. So we'll see. But again, I'll give the edge to Bob Jube, who won his first matchup and beat the league median. So he's 2-0. All right, let's see here. We got the next matchup. I don't know what's going on with Team Sneaky Nico. It's a dead even tie right now. 96.59 to 96.30, which is just crazy. So they got a really tight race here. I can't. Erica's team, Sneaky Nico, did not show up last week. She has 3 Bengals that probably netted her maybe 15 total points. I just can't imagine that happening again. I think that the Bengals are a good enough team that they're going to figure things out. They're going to get it going. It was also raining. It was really raining. So, well, they're going to figure it out. I mean, they got a tough matchup against Baltimore. Baltimore has a phenomenal defense. So actually, we got a quarterback head-to-head with Lamar Jackson on the other side. Now, Lamar didn't look like Lamar last week, in my opinion. Still a fantastic player. Still going to get all of his points, in my opinion. But this is, you know, they got solid wide receiver 1 and 2. Well, I shouldn't say that necessarily, but I really like Erica's team over here. Tyler Lockett, T. Higgins. It's going to be tough here again. Wow, they are really in a dead heat here. I think Justin does have a better team, but he's dealing with some injuries. You got Mark Andrews, questionable. Christian Watson, questionable. Kenneth Gainwell, he's out tonight. So if those guys play, I'm definitely giving the edge. Erica's looking for late season stuff. She got Kyler Murray sitting on the bench here. We'll see what happens with Alvin Kamara. You know, when he finally gets out there. You know, is Rashad Penny the dude too? Who knows? But Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, we got some really good quarterback matchups in this. Marvin Mims looked solid in week 1. Flip a coin. That's who's going to win this match, whoever wins the coin flip. Like, it's insane. It's going to be really close. Again, I think if Justin doesn't have those injuries, I definitely give it to him. But because we don't really know if a lot of those players are going to play, I have to say this is about as even as a matchup as it gets. Good luck to both of these teams. All right, let's move on to the next one. Here we got the specially special. Somebody's definitely special. Ruby versus C. Sterling and Show Me Your TDs. It's a classic team name. Love it. So we got a 103.86 to 106.78. And just going to take a look here. Let's see. We got Kirk Cousins, Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Alexander Madison. That's going to be a tough matchup tonight. I mean, Philly's got an amazing front seven. So that'll be a really big test to see if Madison has it. But Brock Purdy looked great last week. That's his second quarterback here. Now, I know that Show Me Your TDs is projected to win. But without this second quarterback here, it's really hard. This is his first year in the league. It's incredibly hard to win with just one quarterback. And if you're unfamiliar with how Superflex format works, you get a second flex position that you can also put a quarterback in. So you can put any position in that position. And quarterback is generally who's played. You don't have to. Typically on bye weeks, you don't. We have 14 teams, so 28 out of the 32 quarterbacks are started on a weekly basis. So that means there's only 4 other starting quarterbacks in the league that you can potentially even pick up. So once the bye weeks really get into it is where you start to see the one quarterback, maybe not every week, but on those random bye weeks in there. But other than that, I mean, you got to start a quarterback. However, because he didn't go with the quarterback, he's able to really kind of boost up some of his other positions, which, I mean, he's got a fantastic wide receiving core with Addison and Chase. Travis Kelce. He's got a good team, but again, without that second quarterback, it's gonna be a tough uphill battle for him. I don't like Kirk this week. I mean, he's gonna put up his points. I just don't like it this week. Oh shoot! So it's got Jalen Hurts though. Again, this is gonna be a tough matchup. Breece Hall looked fantastic. I'm going to give the edge over to Ruby, the specially special. And again, it just comes down to not having that second quarterback. If he had a second quarterback, this 6 points probably turns into something like 16. So add another 10 points. Now we're really talking about a huge point projection differential. And it's really hard to overcome that. Again, you got to wait for these guys to actually play. But, Jalen Hurts should be a smash play this week against Minnesota tonight. So, well, again, we'll see. But I'm going to give the edge over to Ruby for now. It's a close match. Once again, we got a lot of close matchups. I don't think anybody really has like an unbelievably standout team. Everybody's got a pretty evenly matched team, which is going to be great for my anxiety all season. All right, let's move on to the next matchup. We got Team Nick Seacott Classic and Team Don, or just Don. Nick is projected 101.74. Don is projected 106.88. Again, everybody has such a pretty balanced, even team that we're going to see a lot of these matchups are going to be close all year. Just going to be super close. So let's just take a look here. Russell Wilson, Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, Brandon Ayuk, Michael Thomas, Njoku, Javonte, and he also lost Aaron Rodgers for the season, so he is also going with a single quarterback. Which, you know, if he has Aaron Rodgers on this team, I mean, that's actually one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion. Went really running back heavy. You know, Wilson does look like he's kind of turning things around a little bit this year compared to last year. Ayuk was a stud. Ridley was a stud. I had to play against Nick last week, and his team dominated mine. And he lost a quarterback, and he still beat me by like 20-plus points. He's got a good team. So he did pick up Zach Wilson. Yeah, smart of him not to start him this week against Dallas. That's a really smart move. Let's take a look over here, Don. Patrick Mahomes. Who the hell is this guy? Dowdle. Dowdle? I don't know how to say it. Backup running back for the Cowboys, I guess? Why is he starting? What? Is that like a fake out? Who's on his bench? I gotta see here. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on. Isaiah Pacheco, CeeDee Lamb. Debo? Wow. Amon-Ra St. Brown? Yeah, he's got an amazing wide receiving core here. Isaiah Likely. You know, again, if Andrews is out, that's going to be a good play. Clearly, Lamar needs Mark Andrews, though. Christian Kirk. I think this projection is a little bit high for Christian Kirk. After Zay Jones kind of emerged as the obvious number 2, he was out there 90% of the snaps in every 2 wide receiver set. So I think Christian Kirk is going to fall off a little bit later. And then he's got he who shall not be named, Deshaun Watson, as his second QB. Again, a tough matchup, or what should be a tough matchup on Monday Night Football against Pittsburgh. So, man, this is gonna be a close one. You know, if Pollard really shows up during the Jets game, that's gonna be great. If Henry shows up, you know, not having that second quarterback is kind of big, but I really like the fact that he's got Javonte as his third running back, and even Jamal, who's going to get a lot of goal line work. And he looked fine last week. Can we see what he had last week? Let's see what he had last week. He only had 6 points, but he had 18 attempts. Did get a couple targets, and he lost a fumble. So Carolina should be a little bit easier of a matchup for him. Oh boy! So again, we're splitting hairs here. I gotta go, man. Again, because of the lack of a second quarterback, at least this week for Nick, I'm gonna give the edge to Don. His wide receiving core between CeeDee, Amon-Ra, and Debo. That's a really, really good receiving core. But if it's another Ayuk week like last week, you know, Debo's not going to see as much work. But yeah, overall, I'll give the edge to Don this week. Give the edge to Don this week. Okay, moving on. We got Gritty Monster. Oh my God, this is the brother matchup? I don't really like that button. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's probably a little bit better for the brother matchup. But yes, we have Pat, the Gritty Monster, versus Ben. The matchup of the Howards, Mayfield the Dreams. Pat projected 109.36. Ben 103.25. So these really close matchups here, projection-wise. We got a lot of cookies over here. The Cookie Monster. So Dak's got a tough matchup. Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Drake London, Freiermuth, Dillon, Mac Jones. Mac Jones looked good last week. Like, for all intents and purposes, the Patriots should have beat the Eagles. That's what it seemed like to me when you're watching the game and you're seeing Mac throw these dimes all over the place. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Oh, it was a crazy game. But let's see here. We got, again, Jahmyr Gibbs, Seattle. That should be a good play. Kenneth Walker, Detroit. That should be a good play. A.J. Brown tonight, Minnesota. That should be a good play. Is Devontae playing? That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to know if Devontae's going to play. I heard he was dealing with an injury. Is that true? Let's see. Full participant today, 3 hours ago. So Devontae should be good to go. And with the unfortunate concussion of yes, with that unfortunate concussion of the second wide receiver there, he should be seeing a lot more volume. Freiermuth should be fine. A.J. Dillon, I'm not really high on. If A.J. Dillon plays well, I'll be very shocked. I think that I'm just not. I'm a Packer fan, and I don't really like A.J. Dillon, unfortunately. But if Aaron Jones is hurt, he's going to get all of the work. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. You're just kind of hoping that the volume turns into something there. Drake London saw 1 target. I don't know what they're going to do against Green Bay, to be honest. They're going to run the ball a lot. So, on the other side, we got Daniel Jones, Delvin Cook, Cam Akers, Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, Garrett Wilson, Tyler Higbee, Big Mike Williams, and Baker Mayfield. Is Mike Williams back at practice? Yep. Looks like he was back at practice, just reading that little quip there. Baker Mayfield looked decent. And he gets to play Chicago. That should be a smash play, in my opinion. Higbee's going to be solid. Garrett Wilson, that's going to be a really tough matchup this week against Dallas. Where I think we're all rooting for Garrett Wilson here, but Dallas it's not it this week. Amari Cooper, the QB, loves massages. Monday night matchup in Pittsburgh. It's projected to rain according to this. So we'll see. If it's another mud fest, that might not be the greatest, but some reason Amari gets it done. However, last year he did not get it done on the road. So I don't know if that's going to play in a factor at all. Justin Jefferson's an automatic start. There's zero reason that you bench Justin Jefferson. He had 150 yards last week, and they lost. And he had 2 catches in the second half. So they got to figure something out here tonight. Hopefully they can figure something out here tonight. I don't really know what the heck is going on with Cam Akers. He had a lot of garbage time snaps. So when you look at his stat line here, it says he has 22 attempts last week for a total of 29 yards. Now, he did fall into the end zone. I imagine he's going to get some kind of work here. But overall, I'm just not a big fan of Cam Akers. I have never been a fan of Cam Akers. But, Dalvin Cook is going to be splitting time with Breece Hall. So, I'm going to give the edge over to Gritty Monster here, to Pat in the battle of the Howards. Need to get you some sort of medallion or something if whoever wins this, and that's just gonna get traded back and forth in this brother rivalry. So okay, we got 2 more matchups here, and I gotta skedaddle after that. Wish everybody a good week in fantasy here. We got the Astronaut TV Pokeballers himself against Silent Sweeper, Jackie. Fins for the wins. I don't think she's ever changed that name. I think it's been 5 years I've been in part of this league, and she was in it for almost all 5. I feel like 4 or 5. Maybe this is year 6. Either way, she's been in it for almost every single year. Maybe not the first year, but I'm pretty sure she had that name the first year, and she still sticks with it. I love it. All right, here. Pokeballers is projected 97.88. Jackie, 105.18. Take a look at the Pokeballers team here. We got Anthony Richardson, dog. Bijan Robinson, dog. DeAndre Swift, little dog. George Pickens, dog. Pittman, dog. Pit of shit on John's face for the nickname. That's hilarious. Terry McLaurin, dog. Sam Laporta. Was he a dog last week? Kind of for a tight end, kind of a dog. We got James Cook, who looked solid, I thought, last week. Almost averaged 4 yards a carry, 12 for 46, and a lot of work in the passing. In the passing game. I like that. That's what we want to see out of running backs. I mean, he did solid. And then lastly, Kenny Pickett, not a dog. Not a dog, sorry. I don't like him. He's got small hands. But again, who knows about Pickett? He did not play that well last week. He did play better than he did last season last week, which is not saying a whole lot. But divisional matchup versus Cleveland. It's going to be rainy, apparently, so who knows? James Cook needs to see a little bit more work. I like where he's at right now, but I want to see him just get a little bit more. Vegas should be just fine, no doubt in my mind. Sam Laporta is going to be Sam Laporta. He's going to be fine. I like McLaurin. I mean, we'll see how healthy he is when he's out there, because he only had 2, but he was off the injury report. But I feel like if you only get 2 catches on 4 targets, that's not Terry McLaurin. Now I know they have Jahan Dotson, who is literally on the other side of this matchup here, but Terry should see some more volume for sure. I really like Pittman. If Richardson seems to be the guy, he is targeting Pittman quite a bit. Yeah, 11 targets for 8 catches, 97 yards, and I believe it doesn't say his longest. Does it say how long? It does not. Okay. Either way. He had a really decent long touchdown, I believe, in that game. So I'm glad to see that happening. Bijan looked amazing. Kirill's got a good team. I like Kirill's team. But on the other side here, Geno Smith, Austin Eckler, Ramondre Stevenson, Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans, Jahan Dotson, Darren Waller dealing with nerve damage? I don't even know. It was disappointing to hear that, but that's what I've heard. He's questionable. He's dealing with some nerve damage or nerve pain. I don't really know. Raheem Mostert, and then Desmond Ridder. So I don't really like Desmond Ridder in the matchup against Green Bay. Green Bay has a good secondary, but if it's a lot of checkdowns to Algier and to Bijan, I think he could be serviceable in this matchup. I also think he needs to probably run a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying he's a crazy mobile quarterback, but he's young enough. I think they need to move him around a little bit more to get him out of the pocket, where he can kind of make more of those dink and dunk plays. But Arthur Smith really wants to run the ball. So Bijan's going to see a lot of work in this one. Eckler, questionable ankle injury, I believe. So I think it's going to be, if he does play, which we all expect him to play. If he does play, it's going to be like splitting time with Joshua Kelly, who looked fantastic, by the way, coming in to relieve Eckler. Like, he looked good. He looked the part. I don't remember how much he went for off waivers. I submitted a waiver, I think $22, and I kind of thought that was a little bit on the steep. And I think he went for like $40-some. But he'll be, I mean, if Eckler's out for any amount of time, Kelly looks great. And Eckler has actually praised Joshua Kelly time and time again. So even Eckler thinks that Kelly's good. So that's going to be an interesting question mark here. Ramondre, is he going to be more involved than he was? Only 12 attempts, only on the field 73% of the time. Like, that's not good. That's not what you want to see. Stephon Diggs, dog. Mike Evans, dog. Jahan Dotson, little dog. I like the wide receiving core over here. Man, it's going to be tough. Kirill has like some really low projections. I think it's going to be a lot closer than we all might think here. But let's see here. So Darren Waller might not play. Does she have somebody that she can put in for him? Oh, she's got Joshua Kelly on her bench. Oh, she's fine. But there's nobody to substitute if Darren Waller doesn't play. She's going to have to drop somebody. I don't know who she drops exactly, but if she wants to do that, if he doesn't play, she drops somebody. That's going to make this matchup a lot closer. I am leaning Jackie in this one. Fins for the wins. Has the edge in this matchup. It's going to be closer. It's going to be a lot closer than the projection shows. All right, we got our last matchup. Oh my God, what happened here? Last matchup, the commish himself, the reigning champ, Booty Cheeks, Mr. Michael Getty, versus the big catfish, Just Win Baby. Mike is projected 105.31. Big Catfish projected 101.1. And I can see why Mike has a solid team here. Tua. That's going to be, he might be the #1 quarterback on the year. If they throw as much as they did, you can't hold Waddle and you can't hold Tyreek down for very long. If you hold one of them, the other one's going to gut out, and vice versa. So Tua is going to be a smash play every week, even against New England. Nick Chubb, Miles Sanders, Chris Olave, Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, Dallas Goedert, Treylon Burks, and he snagged up Derek Carr from my team this week. So he's got Derek Carr against Carolina. And honestly, he's waiting for Jonathan Taylor. If Jonathan Taylor can come back after week 4, this team gets very much rounded out. Because you don't have to deal with Sanders' bum ass, in my opinion. Sorry if you like him. But you can kind of move these pieces around. I like his team. He's got one of the better teams in the league after that trade. Zay Flowers. I don't know why Zay Flowers is on the bench. Jonathan Mingo, like Kendre Miller. Mike has one of the best well-rounded teams in the league. You can see why he's the former champ, reigning champ, 3-time champ. So it's again 105. It's a close projection again. But Big Catfish, let's go through his lineup. Bryce Young, Saquon Barkley, Dameon Pierce, Tyreek Hill. Now, the Tyreek Hill play here is going to help him dramatically. Having a guy that your opponent has to throw to that you basically double the points every single time that he gets the ball, it's unbelievable. One of the reasons that I love Tyreek. He's a dominator, and he's going to get thrown to a ton. And if you do happen to play against Tua, then you're pretty much set. Even if Tua has a monster game, a lot of that's going to be because of Tyreek Hill. We saw that last week, and that's going to be a smash play every single week. Now, Josh Reynolds, Cortland Sutton, not too big on those guys. I mean, Cortland Sutton might be something. If they can fix Russell Wilson, he might be something. Now, Josh Reynolds probably won't be much. He had a great week 1, in my opinion. What did he have here? Let's take a look. 4 on 7 targets for 80 yards. Fantastic week 1. This is his ceiling. He might get a touchdown in there, but I would say 10, 15 points max. Like, Josh Reynolds is never going to have that, like, stellar 20-plus point week that you're going to get from, like, Amon-Ra St. Brown or any other wide receivers out in the league. He's going to be okay number 2, but even probably behind Hawkinson. I mean, we'll kind of see what happens and what shakes out here, but Hawkinson, he's asking to trade for me here, according to the nickname. But I think Hawkinson is going to be... Wait, what? Hawkinson's... Oh, that's right. My bad. I was thinking Hawkinson was on the Lions. Sorry about that, guys. He is on the Vikings. He plays tonight. 8 off 9 targets, only 35 yards. Now, that's shitty. But the fact that he's getting 9 targets is good sign. Whoa. What just happened here? I don't know what's happening here. There's music playing. I don't know if you guys can hear the music playing. Okay, there we go. I just hit the wrong button. My bad, guys. Evan Ingram, Sam Howell, rounding out his team here. Howell looked good in week 1. I liked it. I don't know if he's going to be a smash performance every week. What did he end up with? How many points? 15 points. Serviceable. But against Arizona, you would hope that he was going to get more than that for sure. But, and he lost a fumble, unfortunately. So, it's kind of a big deal. Cooper Kupp, when Cooper Kupp comes back, that's really going to help boost this team. Unfortunately, you got Josh Reynolds in there right now. Gerald Everett's a solid play. I might even play him. Yeah, well, over Evan Ingram. I don't know. I don't know what I would do differently here, but Lazard, it's going to be a close match. Honestly, I'm going to give the edge. I'm going to give the edge to the commish, to Booty Cheeks over here. And the main reason I'm doing that is I like the quarterback play. Derek Carr, Tua, and then he's got the stack with Olave. Keenan Allen's just going to be solid every week. He's going to, this 11.24 projection here, that's like a floor. That he's going to get that. And most likely going to be a lot higher than that. Yeah, 11.2. No touchdown, but targeted 9 times, 6 for 76. He's great. He's just all reliable as long as he doesn't get hurt. And I have him, so I also, in Dynasty, I have him in Dynasty, and I also hope that doesn't happen. But yes, overall, I will give it to Mr. Michael Getty. We got through it, guys. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We got through it. I hope you guys enjoyed the little stream, little podcast here. We're going to be back next week. I'm going to try to do every Wednesday. So, next Wednesday, get ready. It'll be out before the game on Thursday, I promise. I'll post this in the league chat. Hopefully you guys take a listen. It would mean a lot to me if you did take a listen. So, either way, enjoy football. We got a big matchup tonight here in literally 45 minutes. I kind of rushed this one, so. You guys have a good one. Good luck this weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye.